Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Gruesome and Grotesque news video. Well, how about this? There has now been an update to some information that I was going to talk about a video here soon with regards to this series. Talk about a strange coincidence. Here I was gathering information about what's going to happen, and then all of a sudden there has been a huge update to the very same topic. It just happened today, in fact, and that's why I wanted to go ahead and share it here, especially on the news section. So I'm still going to do the other video focusing on originally what happened, but here is the update associated to it. Kind of like a little bit of the cart pushing the horse instead of the other way around, but still, this will be a good way to give you a nice precursor of the video that I'll talk about soon. It has to do with this. Clara Harris, a woman who is infamous here in the Texas area because of what she did about 15 years ago to her husband. She has just been released from jail today with regards to her sentence, and I'll provide some good info on that here. But here's how the story goes with what led to her being in jail in the first place. Again, most of this info I'm going to save for my actual video coming up soon. But in essence, here's a quick summary. Back in 2002, back in July, this story blew up huge headlines here in Texas. Essentially, she was a dentist, a mother, someone who was married to a husband named David. Well, it turns out that he was having an affair, in this case with a mistress, with a woman named Gail. And lo and behold, after a while, either she was tipped off on it or she found out through, in this case, the private investigator she hired. Either way, though, it all culminated in her deciding to take one swift action. In this case, going to the actual Hilton Hotel, in this case, the Nassau Bay Hilton Hotel, where he and his mistress were staying at, tracking him there, and then confronting him outside of the hotel. And then this is where the most shocking thing comes into play. She ran him over with her very nice Mercedes Benz. I remember it was always illustrated, what a high luxury car, expensive car it was at that time. She ran him over 3 times, and then depending on the story, either A, she parked her car right on top of his chest, or B, she stopped it essentially on top of somewhere on his body. All of this happened, though, unfortunately, while, in this case, Clara Harris had her daughter-in-law in the same car as she was running over this guy David 3 times in a row. All of this was captured too on footage that was caught by, in this case, the investigative team, the private investigative people that she hired. But yes, that's in essence a quick summary of what occurred. Lots more info that I'll talk about in my other video. But here's the update. She has now been released. Today, actually, of all days, again, what a strange coincidence, this has happened. She was supposed to serve 20 years out of her sentence. In fact, I remember correctly, it was like a crime of passion that she was trying to state, like her lawyers were trying to state as an argument. The jury didn't buy it, judge didn't buy it, and so she was sentenced to 20 years. Well, out of those 20 years, cut to 15 years later, and now she has been granted parole. Isn't that crazy? Like, now in this case, she has served her sentence out of all the time, out of the 5 years remaining, and then is now going to be a free woman. And in fact, today, when you're looking at some pictures here, it shows her exiting, in this case, the prison, and going out as a free woman. And as far as where she's going to stay, apparently, and I'll include the article for people.com, she's supposed to stay somewhere there in that county. She's not supposed to leave, in other words, and she's supposed to have an ankle monitor. So just because she's free doesn't mean that she's scot-free. In this case, she's still going to be on parole, apparently up to year 2023. And she must stay away, obviously, from some of the, from this case, the other mistress, from some of her in-laws, and then also, sadly, in this case, from her stepdaughter, so she cannot have any communication whatsoever. But yes, if you're there in the Galveston County area, that's apparently where she's now going to have to stay as part of her parole. 15 years, can you believe that, since she was first sentenced? It was a huge story. I mentioned that earlier. A huge story here in Texas. It just blew up all the headlines because it checked off all the sensational stuff that was needed to make the news. Here you had, in this case, a prominent dentist, someone you had no idea, like no clue that they would turn to something like this. Then you had the word affair that instantly catches people's attention. Then you had also their rich, luxurious lifestyle with her prominently displayed Mercedes Benz in all of the newscasts, and then finally the most sensational part in this case with her running over this guy tragically in this case 3 times in a row, and then parking her car right on his chest. So, if for a good while, this definitely permeated within Texas, and to this day, every now and then, and especially today, I imagine there's going to be a coming out soon this month or somewhere, some new documentary, something else that'll highlight the entire history of the case. I remember reading a book about it too. I wish I had the book still, but I think I gave it away at one point during the move. But I remember it was a good amount of info that was prominently displayed there too. But anyways, just wanted to provide everyone that quick update, the first inaugural section, if you will, of my gruesome and grotesque news section here. By the way, just one last topic on the gruesome and grotesque videos. I highlighted this on the community tab that I left a post on. I may actually continue just these videos, maybe some other ones, within my Patreon channel. The reason for it is because, as always, it looks like YouTube is reacting first without going forward in terms of thinking things afterward, but they're flagging these videos, in this case the gruesome and grotesque videos, because they're quote-unquote unsuitable for advertisers. So I'm thinking about just continuing these, The Suffering, Silent Hill, mysteries and disappearances, other stuff that's continuously flagged, putting them on my Patreon channel, so that way you can see them there as is, and I'll be able to get a small bit of revenue from it, and I'll make them available just for $1 a month, essentially, not something big. That way, anybody who wants to see these particular videos will be able to do so there. But just let me know what you guys think about that idea. I posted it again in the community tab. Some people were posting some good thoughts there. But if you wanted to put your comments here too about that as well, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.